As I started building it and growing the community and seeing how much people loved the bags, I realized that this could really be something big, like it was giving billion-dollar business idea. My name is Wilglory Tanjong. I am the founder and CEO of Anima Iris, and I am 25 years old.
Wilglory is a full-time MBA student at UPenn's Wharton School of Business, and she also runs Anima Iris, a luxury handbag brand. Since launching in February 2020, the company has brought in over $725,000 in sales. And that's not all. Anima Iris has caught the attention of celebrities like Beyonce, big retailers like Revolve and Nordstrom, and was even seen on Issa Rae's show, Insecure. These bags are spotted everywhere, and this is just the beginning. Here's how a full-time MBA student built a profitable handbag business out of her knack for fashion and desire to share Black stories. This is On the Side.
I've always been a very fashionable person. People always ask me, where'd you get this, where'd you get that? And I'm like, hey, maybe people would just buy it from me.
Wilglory doesn't have a formal background in fashion, but saw an opportunity when she realized friends were always asking about her outfits. This got her thinking that she could make a business out of her love for style and desire to provide economic opportunities for Africa. Since launching Anima Iris, Wilglory has built out her brand's production facility in Senegal in West Africa, where the bags are hand-sewn. The company now manufactures over 500 bags a month. Wilglory was born in Cameroon and grew up in Maryland with her two sisters. Her parents owned a laundromat and juggled various other jobs. Her family was financially stable until her parents separated and tumbled into economic hardships when she was 14 years old.
I'll never forget the day when my mom told us that we were finally approved for food stamps, and my older sister and I remember we were so ecstatic. But then we stopped and we looked at each other and we were like, oh my God, how did we get here?
Wilglory promised herself that she would become financially independent. Her first steps were studying hard in school and getting a job.
My first paid working job ever was actually working in a skating rink. I worked minimum wage, and I remember working so hard, and after 2 weeks looking at my paycheck and I'm like, this is it? I promised myself, I was like, well, Glory, you are never gonna earn minimum wage again in your life.
Her hard work paid off at work and at school. She earned a full ride to Princeton University.
My parents didn't go to college, so I am a first-generation college graduate.
Unfortunately, during Wilglory's senior year, her mom passed away from breast cancer.
My mom was a huge part of my childhood, and my mom was my biggest motivator. After we buried her, I just went back to school, put my head down, had my senior thesis, and I put a lot of effort into it and just kind of ignored everything that I was feeling and actually dealing with.
Wilglory ended up inheriting about $50,000 from her mother.
I was really surprised to see that she had quite a formidable savings and that our home actually had a lot of equity in it.
By the time she graduated in June 2018, she also saved about $22,000 from her on-campus job and a few summer internships. And right after graduation, Wilglory started a full-time job in Atlanta, making around $86,000 a year as an operational manager at a manufacturing and supply company.
I really thought that making all this money coming out of college and having a job that wasn't really demanding was actually going to make me really happy, but I was actually the unhappiest I had ever been. So I had never really taken a moment to actually slow down, to really, deal with the passing of the most important person in my life.
In June 2019, Wilglory took a leave of absence from her job to focus on her mental health. During her break, she returned to Africa, not knowing that it would also become the birthplace of her company. Her first stop was in Ghana, where she connected with small business owners and creatives. Later on, she traveled to Kenya and then Senegal's capital, Dakar.
There is a community in Senegal, essentially, where these artisans gather and they're creating all kinds of things. So that's where I went.
During her trip, she was inspired to start the African Hustle series, a platform that featured interviews with entrepreneurs she met and showcased their work on YouTube and Instagram.
So we're here at Mama Rocks with Paul, who is the evening head chef, who is going to actually guide us through the kitchen and showcase to us the operation behind the scenes.
Meeting all of these people inspired Wilglory, and so she drew up a purse and took it to an artisan to be made. She also designed jewelry, but soon decided to focus on handbags.
I remember emailing my financial advisor and saying, hey, so I'm going to start making bags for fun and I need like $5,000. And she transferred over the money, and I know she was thinking, this girl does not know where this is going. But that's how it started, and that's where I got the money from my savings.
That money went to creating 50 purses, paying for Wilglory's travel expenses, and covering materials and labor to make the bags.
I brought them back to America, set up a website, and just started selling them. I thought that this could be a great side hustle to recoup a lot of the money that I had, spent in the last couple months while I was traveling.
In March 2020, the same week COVID was declared a pandemic, she quit her job and moved to Philadelphia. She was determined to build her company. Just 3 months later, Wilglory experienced a defining point in her business journey.
I had been building our website. It was like 1 a.m. in the morning, and one of the Vogue editors tagged me, and I was like, no way, you are lying. Like, I am not on Vogue. Then there was a Twitter moment. It received like almost 30,000 retweets. It was crazy. The website sold out. And then, of course, the best moment today was my queen, Beyonce, wearing her bag, posting the bag on Instagram. That was definitely, it's like still one of the greatest moments, if not the greatest moment of my life.
That day alone, Anima Iris raked in over $23,000 in sales.
It was absolutely nuts, but that taught me it's time to expand. Then we have the regular Zuri, which just has a leather top handle. The price point for this bag is between $500 to $600. This year, we forecasted earlier in the year that we would end the year making $350,000. And we've already surpassed that. We've already done $500,000.
Anima Iris generated over $600,000 in sales in 2021 alone. Its biggest month to date was November of that year. The company brought in about $168,000. Black Friday was also the brand's biggest day yet, bringing in over $62,000 in revenue. As sales skyrocket, so has production. But none of it would be possible without the help of Wilglory's growing team and the artisans who help make her bags.
Welcome to the Anima Iris facility, where all the bags are made with my wonderful team of very talented artisans. My artisans make twice what the average artisan in Dakar makes. I now have 7 artisans that work for me, and it's a really comfortable place, so it's air conditioned, of course.
But running Anima Iris isn't the only thing Wilglory has to manage.
Right now I'm taking 4 classes and then 1 independent study. I wanted to get an MBA because I wanted to build the company while also learning how to build a company. But what ended up happening is that I didn't foresee Anima Iris growing so quickly.
Wilglory says people always ask why she's continuing grad school, since she already has a successful business.
I honestly haven't dropped out because, like I said, I graduated from Princeton with no debt. Now I have all this debt. I am like at least $100,000 in debt. Technically, I should drop out, but the African immigrant child in me really can't.
Currently, she's on track to graduate with her MBA in spring 2022.
So I am crawling for dear life to the finish line.
In the coming months, Anima Iris will be branching out beyond the e-commerce space and will also be sold at Saks Fifth Avenue.
My larger goal is to turn this into a full lifestyle brand, right? So I want to be selling clothes, but most importantly, I want us to really remain made in Africa. I didn't come from the most privileged background, but I've definitely leveraged my resources. If I do anything in this life, I'm always gonna bet on me. I'm really living life to the fullest extent, and it's so possible for you to have that same life experience, but you have to be willing to reach out and go find that life for yourself.